Hello everybody, my name is Rene Trumpp and I will present the zVSE business status and strategy update to you today. I have one request because this is a recorded session. I will answer questions at the end of my presentation. We will have enough time at the end, and I have Martin Walbrühl and Jens Remus from my team with me today, and they will monitor the chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them via the chat, either to everybody or to Jens or Martin directly. And Jens and Martin will collect them and bring them up on your behalf at the end of my presentation. So, okay, I guess we are ready now to start. So let's start. I won't talk about our trademarks. If you want to read them, you can hit the pause button in the recording. Before we start, I added this chart here so that you are able to see me. Because of the global pandemic, I'm not standing on a stage in front of you today, and I really, really regret that. So therefore, I added my picture here, and to be a little bit more authentic, I wear exactly that suit in front of my PC at the moment. So, and in normal times, I would say, if you want to get in contact with me, feel free to invite me to have a beer together with you later this evening. But during these days, I need to say, if you want to get in contact with me, I added at the bottom of the chart my email address. Sure, that's less fun, but at least it also works. So there are several topics for today. So let's start. Let's have a look at the business. We start with a look at our customer bases. For sure, we have customers everywhere, but I didn't want to sprinkle the whole map with small dots everywhere, so I just concentrated on the different geos. Most of our customers are located in North America, followed by Europe and Asia. After that, let's have a look at the different industries. VSE is important in all kind of different industries. And so it's pretty clear that VSE is part of your day, even without noticing it. Let me explain what I mean. I get up in the morning and take a shower. The billing for the warm water is done by a company using VSE. I have breakfast. The big bakery where the bread comes from is using VSE. I get into my car and drive to work. Because of the great breakfast, I'm too late, so I drive a little bit too fast and get caught by a speed camera. The ticket is processed on a VSE system later. When parking the car, I have a little accident. The spare parts for my car are produced by a company using VSE. I inform my insurance about the accident. They use VSE too. To be on a safe side, I go to see a doctor. There, my health insurance gets informed. They also use VSE. Before I go home, I go shopping, but I have to stop at an ATM first to get some money. The bank is using VSE too. And when I buy some food, the retailer is using VSE for its logistics too. So I was in contact with VSE the whole day without noticing it. If you hear the term hidden champions someday, it describes relatively small but highly successful companies that are nearly invisible, but they keep the things rolling. Many of them are VSE customers. The last chart about the business is about the number of zVSE version 6 customers. And it's great to see that the number is still growing after 5 years in the market. From my point of view, we can go on with that. Let's have a look at the status. You know our roadmap, and therefore I just want to highlight again that we are doing continuous delivery since zVSE 6.2. This means we are more flexible in what we develop and when we ship new functionality. And for you, it means that you don't have to wait for the next release until you get the new functionality, and you don't have the upgrade hassles anymore. I think I don't have to highlight all the great new stuff we delivered in our last releases. You can see them here on this chart. But I will show you some of the highlights on the next two charts. We start with OpenSSL. There we did some improvements during the last year. It started with the update in the second quarter last year and is now finalized with the update from the first quarter this year. So now we support TLS 1.3 in Galois counter mode for highest available security. And because we are on IBM C, we use the cryptographic hardware for improved performance transparently. Then there is System Recovery Boost. We already supported it as a CVM guest. And to be a little bit more precise, we benefit from the CVM support. But now we also support it in the LPAR. This allows you to accelerate your time to get back to normal operation after a planned or unplanned outage. Then we have the DL1 improvement for database recovery, which we published beginning of this quarter. It enables you to recover more easily in two different scenarios. This was done by changing the DL1 log print utility and the DL1 database backout utility. And last but not least, we did publish beginning of this quarter an enhancement in VSE Power, which allows you to accelerate the data transfer between PNet TCP/IP nodes by up to 50 times. 50 times. After you installed the corresponding PDF, you just have to enable it in the configuration and that's it. That's cool, isn't it? If you have questions regarding this item, Martin Walbril from my team, who is also here, is the lead developer for this item. So if you have a specific question about this item, you can get in contact with him via the chat here immediately. Mid of April last year, the new C15 model TO2 was announced, and I'm sure some of you already have one of them in your data centers. So as always, zVSE 6.2 supported the C15 model TO2 from day one. We benefit from all C15 transparent features like the better performance of the cards, the fiber channel endpoint security, and so on. But we also support things like System Recovery Boost, which I already mentioned on the slides before. I talked about our latest box on the last slide, but I also collected our old releases and the ability to run on the different hardware facilities in this table. So as you can see, zVSE version 6.2 runs on C114 and C196 or newer. And also please be aware, version 6.2 is the only release in service. We do not offer service extensions for version 5 anymore. The out-of-service releases will also run on the C15 and C15 model TO2. Just version 4 has some limitations, as for example, it just runs as a CVM guest and not in an LPAR. If you want to know more details regarding the different storage systems and what is supported in which version, stuff like that, there are 2 PDFs on our homepage. I added the links here and I just can recommend to have a look at them. As a last point for the status update, I listed here the latest announcements which are important for you as a VSE customer. There is an announcement about the features like OpenSSL with TLS 1.3 support and other enhancements. There is the announcement about some C15 enhancements. But I won't go into details here. Okay, now let's have a look at the zVSE strategy and probably the big elephant in the room. Everybody knows the zVSE Pi strategy. This was our strategy for many, many years. Last year, I announced in the VM workshop that I work on a new strategy for VSE. I used design thinking methods and personas. I evaluated many different options. I talked to a lot of people, to other IBMers, to business partners, to vendors, to customers. And at the end, I found out that we don't need a new strategy. The Pi strategy is perfect. We just need to implement it in a new way. And to do that, we choose to partner with 21st Century Software because they also recognize the importance of VSE and the VSE customers. And I'm so happy that this work paid off. With 21st Century Software as a new partner for VSE, I see a great future for VSE ahead of us. I added a link to 21st Century Software's press release at the bottom of this page, so you can read the details of our partnership there. And Jens, can you please post the link into the chat so that everybody is able to click on it immediately if they want to have a look at it? Great, thanks. But now let's have a look at our new but already known Pi strategy. The Pi strategy was the strategy for many, many years. It has been to help customers protect, integrate, and extend their investments in the VSE platform, which in many cases span decades. But with the rapid transformation of computing models, we recognized the need to accelerate the introduction of new capabilities on the zVSE platform. To do that, we choose to partner with 21st Century Software. Together, we, IBM, 21st Century Software, and you, we will develop a shared strategic vision for the future of the platform. So, IBM has licensed the source code for the current release of zVSE and all of the major stack components to 21st Century Software. This enables 21st Century Software to effectively partner with us and to deliver increased functionality and value to you, to our customers. If you have a look at our Pi strategy, this was just the next logical step. Let me explain what I mean. Protect existing zVSE core investments. This means we focus on sustainability. What you do today with your VSE, you will be able to do in the future. Integrate using middleware and zVSE connectors. Most of our customers have a variety of platforms installed. zVSE is frequently just one component of a mixed IT system. With our zVSE connectors, we made integration as easy as possible. But at some points, integration with the connectors is not enough. To address that, we and 21st Century Software will work together with you to work on that. Extend with Linux on C technology and solutions. Linux on C offers a wide range of capabilities, together with an opportunity to simplify the network infrastructure and consolidate workloads from multiple servers. IBM zFS can provide robust, scalable, and cost-effective server environments. And using hypersockets, we provide a fast communication between zVSE and Linux images on IBM C. Therefore, many of our customers grew together with Linux on C in the past. This is still possible. But now you will get one additional option, growing together with solutions from 21st Century Software. So I talked about the strategy and how it looks like. But now let's have a look at how this will influence the future of VSE. For sure, we, IBM, will continue to support our existing zVSE offerings. Future enhancements to the zVSE operating system and the stack elements will be done by IBM and our new partner, 21st Century Software. As 21st Century Software skills grow, they will get involved more and more. And if you raise a new requirement, please be prepared to get invited to a design thinking exercise. We will do this to be sure the requirement is well understood and both we and 21st Century Software can make it a success. To summarize this, our overall goal is to provide the most value for our clients. If you have further questions about this partnership, I'm happy to answer them at the end of the presentation, or may just point to our new partner. And pointing to our new partner is pretty easy for me, as I just need to point to my friend Gonzalo. We worked together in the last years and will continue on that in the future also. But before we start the discussion now, please let me move to the last chapter of my presentation. Last but not least, more news and additional resources. When I search something on the IBM website, from my point of view, it's sometimes hard to find. Therefore, I collected some important links and created this list to help you to at least find the right starting point. So for IBM websites, there are the marketing pages, the marketplace, zVSE, and our documentation website. We have pretty good documentation, and there is a pretty good overview page, and I listed some papers you should be aware of. Sometimes you need service and support. Here are the links to our support overview page, the status PDFs I mentioned earlier, and the links to our lifecycle homepage. And at the bottom of the page, I have the link to our request for enhancements database. I ask you to add your requests there, and as already explained in my strategy section, feel free to also inform our new partner 21st Century Software about it. And last but not least, the link to some examples of use cases, our outstanding connectors, the upcoming events, the VSE user group, where customers get in contact and exchange experience, and our VSE blog, which is published by Jens Remus. And I hope everybody knows Jens' blog. It's a really good source for information. And as he is also here today, you can use the chance to give him ideas, questions, or just feedback regarding his blog via the chat. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I just want to say thanks for listening and enjoy the other sessions too. Bye.
Thank you very much, Rene.